Now let's get into the Towanda Braxton of it all. So she actually just got married to her husband. Now I can say her husband, right? Sean Hall. Shout out to the Jasmine brand for this exclusive. They got married, and their ceremony just took place on Saturday, March 22nd. Her sisters Tony and Trina were her bridesmaids, and her other sister Tamar did not show up to the wedding at all. And I don't think this is going to be really surprising to people who watch their show, just because she and Tamar have been at odds pretty much since season 2 of the show, right? And to be honest with you, at first when they started, their feud, I thought that Towanda was just jealous of Tamar becoming the breakout star of the show. However, the more that I see the way that Tamar operates, the more that I see that, it probably had something to do with Tamar and her mouth. Tamar, I think she has some sort of undiagnosed problem that causes her to just burn bridges with people, to just fight with everybody. And, it's typically her picking a fight with people, but again, just very, very sad, the sisterhood that these people have. They're so lucky to have to be a sisterhood of 5. Unfortunately, their sister Tracy passed away a few years ago. However, just the fact to have so many sisters, I feel like is such a lucky thing. And just to see the way that their sisterhood has gone down the drain since season 1 of this show. In fact, I got to be honest, I can't even blame it on the show, because one thing that they did say that was rather weird was that, wasn't it Tracy or was it Trina? One of them said that like none of the sisters had ever been to her house before filming. And I was like, really? Like your sister's never even been here? Oh, okay. That's weird. That's weird. There was always something going on with these girls. It's rather unfortunate, but I do think it was exacerbated by the show and whatnot, because that's what producers do, right? They see fights and conflict, and they need to amplify them for the show, because that is what people want to see. People want to see drama. People want to see hatred. People want to see screaming. People want to see tables being tossed and whatnot, right? So I do think that they already started off a really bad place, but it got amplified by the show. So anyway, back to the wedding. There were quite a few celebrities in attendance, including Coco Brown, Lawrence Robinson, Ryan Cameron, SKIPS singer Tamika Scott, Claudia Jordan, Mimi Faust, and more. So congratulations to you, Towanda, on your wedding. Like, you know what? They seem to be a very beautiful, happy couple. And so, yeah, it is unfortunate that her sister, Tamar, was not present. However, it seemed to be like a really beautiful ceremony and relationship nonetheless. So I'm wishing them a long and happy and fruitful marriage nonetheless. Now, you guys, here's someone else with a lot of drama attached to her name, right? Why don't we get into Nene Leakes from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, or should I say formerly of the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Nene is now kind of campaigning to get back onto the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Listen, the fans loved her on the show and want to see her back. Other Bravo celebrities, other housewives want to see her back on the show. However, even though Nene is letting them know that the door is open, she's willing to negotiate on her end, I don't think it's going to happen. Right after the lawsuit that she filed against Bravo, after the lawsuit she filed against Andy Cohen. Do y'all remember her crying in the lobby of hotels for her Tamron Hall interviews and whatnot? Like, she really, really let it be known that she was done. She said they were racist. All these things, these very, very inflammatory statements that can also be seen as defamatory as well. So how do you walk those sorts of claims back? How do you explain that you want to go back and work for these people after you make such massive, massive, massive allegations against them, right? So she said that if RHOA were to call, she would answer, but I don't know. I don't know that they would call in the first place, right? I think that at this point, they probably are kind of like just ready to move on from her, right? They've got Phaedra back. I know Phaedra had some scandal attached to her name. However, Phaedra did not burn bridges with production or anything like that. She did make a few shady comments about RHOA, but she didn't go to the extent or to the length that Nene Leakes went when she left the show. It's unfortunate because I would love to see Nene back, especially in this new phase in her life, seeing how she's adjusting to life as a widow. Her son is going through massive health issues and whatnot. So I would have loved to see how she's handling things now. But I don't see it happening. I've got to be really honest with you guys. By the way, I saw some of you guys' comments for Theo, so I thought it was so sweet. Theo, hopefully you get to see this. We miss you, Theo. We miss you. Ali says, hopefully they bring Nene back. AC says that she burnt that bridge, right? I think so too, unfortunately. Hey, Malen says they are rumbling that she's going to be on Traders. And so if she's on Traders, maybe it's a little bit of a stepping stone. Listen, I would love to see them, even if they did some negotiations where she would have to publicly retract some of the statements that she made in order for them to put her back on the show. Do you guys think that would be fair? Like just something to get her back on the show, because I understand them not wanting her after those massive, massive allegations she made. And I think that, hey, if she were willing to publicly retract her statements or say that they've come to an agreement, or that, they're doing something to work on certain issues that they have, that could be good. That could be a good starting jump off point, right? AC says the ratings will go through the roof if she were asked back. I agree. I think a lot of people, Theo's here. Theo, we were just talking about you. Nice to see you. Okay, you guys, Theo is back. Yeah. And I agree with you, AC, that the ratings would be through the roof if she were to come back, especially because she's got so much going on. And I know people don't like this at all, but I got to be honest. I want to see Wig Zolciak too. I want to see her on the show too. I loved her in season 1 of the show with her cigarettes, her wine, her trying to sing, her trying to spell cat, her big papa and everything. And now she probably needs to get a new one. She has been hinting at having some sort of a new boyfriend and whatnot. I want to know what she's got going on in her life. I want to know what the 2 OGs, the 2 pillars of the show, the original pillars of the show, have got going on, you guys, at this point. And how they would be together, because there was a point where they were so arrogant. Kim, especially because she got married to a football player, right? And then Nene, because she had the new normal. She had Glee. But now that they don't have those things that made them so arrogant, I want to see what the transformation is like after, you kind of fall on your behind, right? Jalisa says, as someone with all sisters, I don't understand why they're like this. We literally all went out for pizza last night. Exactly, right? Having sisters is amazing. So to see the way that they just squander their sisterhood is rather sad. I do agree with AD that Nene wants the money. Does she still have her boutique and her Lenithia lounge, by the way, you guys? Are those things doing well? Stephanie says, damn if you do, damn if you don't say anything. I agree with that. I do, unfortunately. Kira says they need Nene, though. The show hasn't been the same without her. Bring Nene. Yeah, okay, Kira's on my side. Bring Wig back, too. We want to see the 2 of them together. Sorry to the Wig Zolciak haters, but she is good television. She is such great drama. Pumpkin says she got to move on, though. She's got to move on. Theo says, I was listening to Humble Brag podcast and lost track of time. There you were. That's such a good podcast, isn't it? I really enjoy it. I never would have imagined Cynthia and Crystal as a pair, because I didn't even know they knew each other, but they're a really, really good pair. Izzy says, nope, Kim doesn't need to come back. She didn't want to be around the black lady, so Kim can stay where she is. But the way they dragged her at that reunion was so damn delicious. But I think you're right. Okay, fine. I'm going to put her down. Houston Rose says, Kim Z, nope, she definitely needs to catch a new one. All right, fine. I guess y'all don't want Wig Z on the show. Okay, fine. Listen, if you guys don't want her, then I don't want her. How about that?